Hello and welcome back to RimWorld. Last time we tried to open this terrible antediluvian chamber and that didn't go terribly well. And overall, the colony's just been continuing to exist. We upgraded to a nice high-tech steel research bench and actually, in reality, that's basically all that happened. Okay, so it wasn't the most eventful of episodes outside of the rocket launchers and explosions that may or may not have had something to do with the antediluvian chamber that we opened up, but outside of that, it was pretty boring. I think there were some there were some explosions. There was also the giant fire out here, which is a bit more significant. Regardless, this time we are working on getting done the geothermal power so that we can set up a nice little geothermal power station over this steam vent and hopefully, actually get a consistent form of power. Oh, Cherie's throwing a party. How nice. Everyone go have a nice party with your boom rat and your dog and, of course, everyone else. And you're just gonna... we should probably move the party spot because, that's nice and all, but the room where a party's really gonna go down is definitely gonna be in this room because it's got the whole pool table and the chess tables things, which I guess are nice. I don't know why we have so many chess tables in our colony. Like, 2 chess tables seems maybe a bit many, even just for this colony, because I don't know if anyone here actually plays any chess to begin with. It's kind of hard to tell. I would guess that Magar does, because Magar is like the brains of the group. Sort of, kind of. Is that actually true? That is really not true, actually. She's not quite the bottom rung, but she's middle of the line intelligence if you just mark it by research power. It's definitely middle of the line. So are any of these actually party spots? They aren't. Okay. So we've just set up the first party spot in here. So now parties should occur in the nice little room with all the pool tables and stuff, which I think is pretty good. So for considering future expansion, we kind of need more stone. That is a bit of a thing, because we need to build more walls if we want future expansion. At this point, what matters a lot more is making certain that we have all of this food in the system. So what is Cherie actually doing? She's doing some growing. Actually, she's doing some cooking right now. Can we possibly get... there's a lot of people doing a lot of work. What is Aiden actually doing right now? Mining things out? Aiden, I appreciate that, but that's currently not the most necessary thing. If you can actually get to hauling, that would be amazing. What? A group of Huskies has joined the colony? Check it out! We got 3 Huskies! And one's called Bartholomew! Oh my word, you're my favorite Husky in the world, Bartholomew. Welcome to the colony, Bartholomew. You're amazing. Oh my word. Well, there we go. Everyone's going to be trained in hauling. If at all possible, can we actually get someone to do some animal work? Is there anyone good at animal work? Let's see. Cherie's okay. It basically seems like it's Cherie. On the other hand, we could have Squirrel do it. He's only 1 less, and it seems like he'll learn a lot faster. So let's get him to do some animal work. So that's handle. Squirrel, you're going to be doing some handling work with the animals as much as possible to try to train them to actually do some hauling at some point, because I don't know if you've noticed, but hauling on animals is kind of a useful thing to have around because they'll just randomly bring stuff into storage positions in the colony, which is quite nice. We will need to expand this small walk-in fridge at some point. That was kind of the main point of expansion that I wanted to see happen. Aiden, can you focus on food before cloth? Just saying. I'd prefer you haul a bunch of rice into the colony rather than haul a bunch of cloth. Quite frankly, cloth is not really all that important of a thing to have generally stockpiled. Although we will eventually want carpets, which is going to be nice. Oh no, Bartholomew! It appears that the first thing that Bartholomew did once being in the colony was to get food poisoning from rice. That is really unfortunate. That's like the story of this colony, though. That's just what happens around here. You come here looking for like a nice, hopeful place, and you get terrible, terrible food poisoning. Are wild boars really intelligent enough to haul stuff? Oh my word. Wait, did we already know that? Did we figure that out earlier? I feel like we figured that out a couple runs ago. Last run, probably? I think that's a thing. Well, that's a new thing that we can bring into the colony because, quite frankly, I don't want any animals that aren't going to do their fair share. But any animal that is trained in hauling is definitely going to do its fair share. Oh no, the one cooler is now offline. I mean, that's not the end of the world because it's not like that hot basically anywhere. It's 24 degrees outside, which is... that's decently warm, but it's not the end of the world. You can survive that for 2-3 minutes, probably. No, you can survive that for quite a while. That's actually not that hot. Like, 21 is room temperature, so 25, not that bad, not that bad. Everyone has weapons, right? I just need to make sure of this, because if someone attacks right now, we definitely need to be ready, and we definitely do have the equipment. By the way, is that light machine... that light machine gun is totally a Lewis gun, isn't it? Not to be like a gun nerd or anything, but that's totally a Lewis gun from World War I era. That's pretty cool. It's got that like awesome vertical drum clip. That's where it's at. Probably have no clue what I'm talking about. Look up a Lewis gun. You'll figure out what I'm talking about. They're pretty nice. And for frickin' somebody cut down that tree. How long does it take to cut down a tree? Aiden, can you cut down trees? I really want that tree gone. You get to visit the grave of your king and queen first. Your first kings and queens. I mean, technically there was only ever one queen, so there's no plural needed for that one, but, you know. Cherie, can you cut that down? Is anyone capable of cutting down? Oh, come on. Somebody's gotta have plant cutting. There's nobody in the colony who has plant cutting. Jeez, Cherie, you are going to plant cut, please. Cut that tree down. It is in front of our door. It is unsightly and probably hampering anyone getting into the hospital, which is kind of important, just saying. Oh, check it out. Our nice Bambina, our Husky, is now trained in one level of obedience, which is necessary before any further training. So that is perfect. We're getting there. Squirrel, do you have a good grasp of animal handling? He has a grasp of animal handling. I guess that's good enough. I mean, we can't ask for too much out of Squirrel. Squirrel is not necessarily what I would consider to be the most, the colonist with the most aptitude for animals. Actually, that's not true because he basically is. Oh, nice job. You trained a wild boar how to be obedient. Jeez, all of these animals are going to follow Squirrel around. It's going to be terrible. We need to hand these animals off to other colonists. So, like, what kind of social relations do we have? No social relations. So, I guess, I don't know, wild boar, that's going to go to Cherie, right? Because, quite frankly, Cherie is a disgusting peasant and doesn't deserve a timber wolf or a husky, so it's going to get a pretty low-grade animal, otherwise known as a wild boar. I mean, she can feel good that she's not getting a boom rat, which is... that's pretty bad. I mean, if you're in a colony and you're awarded as a pet a boom rat, you should consider leaving the colony, because any colony that has a boom rat as a pet is clearly not a civilized colony. Boom rats are disgusting creatures. The only reason we still have it is because we haven't found a place to sell it yet, and it's basically impossible to kill a boom rat once it's become part of your colony, because it will just destroy everything in the process of killing it, which last I checked is not the best thing in the world. What are you doing, Gabe? He's making parkas. Good job, Gabe. Good job, Gabe. I feel good about that. Oh man, we do have a lot of heal root going, don't we? Didn't realize we had quite that much. I mean, I'm completely fine with that. I actually kind of love that, so there you go. But at the same time, you know, I'd like to actually see some of that stuff. Hair revenge? What do you mean hair revenge? I mean, it seems like the revenge of whatever Hair was fighting ended pretty quickly. I would imagine that was something akin to a swift kick to the head that ended that. So, if you find the just bursted body of a rabbit somewhere, that's probably the Hair that was trying to kill someone. Did not end well at all. We do have a very small walk-in fridge. We really need stone. Do we have stone cutting? We don't have any stone cutting going right now. Come on. There we go. Now we got stone cutting running, and with any hope, we should be able to take all of this random stone and turn it into nice buildings, like, I don't know, an extended walk-in fridge. I'm holding out for that one. That's going to be nice. I like walk-in fridges, and I would prefer to have a very nice walk-in fridge, if at all possible. Okay, we're gonna delete that zone right there. We don't want anything stockpiled in this room. I mean, these potatoes, it has to be said, are 100% definitely not actually frozen, which is not ideal. Actually, why are these not frozen? Why is the temperature fluctuating so much? It's kind of weird. Because it seems to be going between 8 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees. There doesn't seem to be a particular reason why that's the case, but I mean, it's not really the end of the world. I don't know. Weird stuff, weird stuff. Anyway, everyone's asleep at this point. I think we're doing some pretty good training on these animals right now. Oh yeah, we're definitely doing some solid work. Let's hand this one off to... who's gonna get it? Magar? Magar, you want a husky? There you go. Magar's got a husky now. That is nice. Hopefully Squirrel will be able to train them all up to the point of hauling soon enough. I don't think any of them are actually hauling anything yet. It's kind of sad because they're not really paying their way in this colony, and everything, including the animals, has to pay their way at some point. And quite frankly, there is no such thing as a free ride in the Rambonian Fortress, which is maybe needs to have its name changed. I'm still not sure about that one. I mean, Gabe would probably want it to be Gabriel's Fortress of Death or something like that, but I don't know. The Fortress of the Rambonian Knights still remains, as we can still remember the great legacy of Rambo in the crypt that was built over here for said people, who unfortunately were both killed in terrible, terrible ways. So what else do we got? The research is getting done. We're actually pretty close to getting that done. How is Magar for research at this point? 6. That's actually not that great. Squirrel is continuing to train up the animals. I mean, basically that's it right now. We just have to wait, because we don't have very many people, and currently it's harvest season, and harvest season is really a season where you just have to sit and wait for things to happen, because quite frankly, we can't put too much workload on people who have to actually create the food for the colony. If we do that, I mean, we won't have any food, and that would be quite unfortunate because everybody would die. So I think right now we'll speed it up a bit and try to get this research done so we can build a legit geothermal plant and then, you know, burn this building down. I mean, we're not actually going to burn it down, but we're going to do close to that. I mean, close enough. It's basically going to be high explosives. You know, we don't have any high explosives, do we? I think the one grenade... No, we do have high explosives, actually. We have frag grenades. So it is actually possible that we could use high explosives to blow this building up. Not really what I would call the ideal way to tear down the building, but, you know, it's a way to tear down the building. And sometimes you got to take a radical approach to a radical problem. I don't know if really tearing down a building is the most radical problem, but it's radical enough for us, you know? That's just how it goes. Man, this colony is kind of a bustle of activity. Mostly because we have like 1,000 animals that are all just chilling out. You know, it's been a while since anyone actually showed up at our colony. It's kind of sad. I mean, are we all alone out here? Where is like the Outland Union or also the Outerland Union? What are these places? Western Non-Technologist Covenant and Tithedin? Yeah, where are these two? Because I'd like to see them send maybe a nice little trade route to us, if at all possible. I mean, probably the best move is going to be to get a comms terminal and get them to actually show up at our doorstep. But in order to make that worth it, we'd actually have to have stuff to sell, which I don't know if you've noticed, but we don't actually have anything to sell. Uh-oh. Mad animals. Some sort of psychotic wave has swept over the landscape. Your colonists are okay, but it seems many of the raccoons in the area have been driven insane. Like, how many are we talking? Is it just one? I mean, I'm not really intimidated by a single raccoon. If you guys could all possibly, like, I don't know, go out and kill these raccoons, that'd be amazing. I mean, full disclosure, I do not know how many raccoons we're actually talking about. This could be one or a couple thousand raccoons. We just have to see. Gabe, open fire on that raccoon. They will beat that raccoon to death. It's perfectly fine. Everyone move into position. I really need everyone to move into the sandbags. Not really for any particular reason, because, I mean, it's not like sandbags are actually going to help us against raccoons. I think whether or not we sit behind sandbags it's basically going to be the same thing regardless. Are they all dead now? They're all dead. That's how you do! That is how you kill raccoons. Apparently just by shooting them a couple times. Now, if you guys can go possibly rest until healed so you don't get a terrible infection and then die, because I don't know if you've noticed, but probably the most likely thing to kill people in the colony is actually infections. And those are pretty vicious, especially when you don't have good enough medical supplies to actually deal with them. Infections are kind of the worst. So it looks like we have had a battery breakdown. How can we just deconstruct it? Don't even fix it. Just tear it down. We're close enough to geothermal research that we can just, you know, tear down stuff and start ignoring the power structure that we currently have. Not the power structure that includes Gabe. The power structure that includes wind turbines. Which is very different from the power structure that includes Gabe. Because Gabe is an autocrat, and wind turbines are wind turbines. I don't know, giant spinning blades? I mean, autocrats and giant spinning blades are fairly similar in that they tear up anything that is in their path, so, I mean, close enough, right? Right? No? Yeah? Sure, close enough. Close enough. Well, with a couple of our colonists currently in the hospital, and, the research for the geothermal vent almost being done. Ooh, look, visitors, they have a few items to trade. Oh, well, hello. Wouldn't you like to meet one of my colonists? I don't know who you're gonna meet because I don't know who's good at this. But we need someone who has decent social skills. Anybody? Looks like it's Aiden. Okay, Aiden. Go talk to Lauren. Go see if we can't possibly get some stuff off of these guys and hopefully maybe sell off our boom rat. Because if we could get rid of that boom rat, that would be great. I really don't want to see that boom rat anymore. Oh, they're not accepting animals. That's the worst. Well, I guess we can sell them our frag grenades because we do not use frag grenades. Those are just way too dangerous. We've got some form of drugs that we can sell to these guys. I mean, we can't sell that many because they only have 117 gold. It's actually silver, but you get the idea. Is there anything we actually want from them? They have a pump shotgun, but I think we have enough weaponry as is. Yeah, no, that seems to be about it. There's not really anything that we want, so I guess we just take that and sell that off. We got some gold for that. I mean, once again, it's actually technically silver, but, you know, close enough. It's always just close enough, isn't it? Anyway, for now, that'll bring us to the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Next time, we will probably get the actual geothermal research done, and we'll be able to build our geothermal plant and stop complaining about the fact that our power is not good enough. We will have all the power in the world. But until then, thanks for watching, and of course, as always, enjoy the rest of your day.